There was a big hype about the EQS, but this year is the even more important electric vehicle for Mercedes, the new Mercedes EQE. So to speak, the electric E-Class, but on a very own pure electric platform, sharing it with the EQS. So the EQE, starting here in the front, this is an option, the so-called star pattern grille. It has a little bit of reflection with the chrome stars, the tiny stars here, but really cool effect. LED light, standard option, the so-called digital light, which can also project things on the ground. So, for example, when you're turning, there could be then an arrow on the ground right here showing you, where to go. Let's say it's a step further than an augmented reality head-up display. And you also have this purely integrated design on the front. Design-wise, you can see, once again, like the EQS, this overlapping front hood right there. It's a very unique design, no doubt, and once again also this one bow design. The length here is at 4.95 meters or 195 inches. That means it's around 20 centimeters or 8 inches shorter than the EQS, and half of that is shorter rear overhang and the other half is shorter wheelbase. And, well, the price will also be lower, hopefully. The EQS prices are similar like the S-Class, so we can expect that the EQE prices might be somewhat similar like the E-Class, a little bit more expensive, probably. Interesting, again, this really streamlined design right there, so kind of form follows function. The antennas, by the way, are hidden right here, just to save some more gaps, so basically integrated behind this panel, very interesting. And now about the trunk. This is very interesting. The EQS has this fastback opening. Here you have more headroom on the inside and you have this separate, normal hatch here in the trunk like this. So this is not so practical then to load things in and out. We'll soon take a detailed look at that, but then you have more headroom in the rear. Let's take a look at the rear design first. You can see the light strip here goes all around the vehicle. EQE 350 means this is the rear-wheel drive version, 215 kilowatt. Around 6 seconds will be the acceleration figure. There will also be all-wheel drive models available where you then have an electric motor in the rear plus one in the front. And yeah, probably at some point also a true AMG version. This one here, however, is the AMG-Line. You've maybe seen it in the front. And here also in the rear, kind of diffuser style. Is this a fake exhaust graphic? Maybe not. I think it's okay. So more black, definitely this, larger black panel here in the AMG line. We also have an electric art for you. Turning indicators here in the rear, not that spectacular actually. In the front, yeah, way fancier because it takes up, the whole area here of the daytime running light. Interesting detail, by the way, here the rear lamps looks as it would be like curled, this signature, right? So we have this gray, unique color, by the way, in the AMG line, and especially in the lower left and right, you have the more aggressive styling, darker styling for these non-air intakes. Here, the so-called electric art line, this is the standard one, also has these non-fake or non-air intakes or fake air intakes. So this is all closed, but it looks like, the original air intake thing. This is a little bit less sporty. And here we also do not then have the star pattern grille, just the normal black panel. The star pattern grille, however, is not connected to AMG line or electric art. It's just a option by itself. This then here in the white color, so we have a bigger contrast then to the black one. And here we also have 20-inch wheels, like these. So already quite big, 19 to 21-inch span, so 3 different sizes. And if you take another look at the AMG line, once again, here we go. These were the 21-inch wheels. So they are definitely larger and just give you the sportier styling. So you do not have 22-inch like with the EQS, but definitely I think 21-inch should be a nice choice here. You can also get an air suspension. Steel suspension would be standard. Air suspension is then the option. And there you can also combine the riding comfort with large wheels as well. Interesting also technology-wise, you will have a rear axle suspension, rear axle steering that is. So optional rear axle steering, 4.5 degrees, or optional 10 degrees. So it's not standard. EQS is standard, but here in the EQE, you have it as a first option, then the secondary option. And if you go for the 10 degrees option, then the turning circle is just at 10.7 meters. That's extremely small for such a long car. Then in the rear here with the white vehicle, you can see this is then more in a matte black paint. so a little bit more subtle from the styling. What about you? For me, it's definitely the AMG line today. I really would like to read your opinion in our comment section if you're okay with the design. Do you love it or do you hate it? I think it's either love or hate, there's nothing in between. And yeah, maybe I have to speak it out loud, what hardly anyone else dares to say, but this car is designed in this way to appeal the Chinese market. And for a lot of the European or American tastes, therefore, a lot of people don't like the car. And me neither, design-wise, I really have to say that. I think it's a very daring design, it's a unique design. That's what I like about it. But I think it's too much focused on the Chinese market, and that's why it has this really, drop, very round design. And the total opposite we see at the moment with Audi. Yes, the Chinese market is also super important, but Audi says there, we have this strong German Bauhaus design. That's who we are, and that's it. The car says, I'm German, and that's why it should be successful also somewhere else. But Mercedes really tries to move into, the Chinese market as for, how should a car be designed. And this might be a strategy to success because it is the most important market meanwhile, but they might lose some customers in the US and in Europe for that. There's no frunk, so the only way to put in wiper fluid is right here, this separated side opening. So they really had the front hood all closed. They say the reason is because they hide the HEPA filter there because it takes so much space. Yeah, a lot of you guys would have wished a frunk both in the EQS and also here in the EQE, but that's what it is. At least we have also trunk space available in the rear. Just one battery size, it's easy to remember. 90 kilowatt hours net, that is the small battery from the EQS. The bigger one is not available here, but it should still be enough. The efficiency, EQE and EQS are actually quite similar. So from our test, we had, 17 kilowatt hours on 1 kilometer, 27 kilowatt hours on 100 miles. So we can expect more than 500 kilometers of electric range here. There's just the electric range here, or more than 300 miles. The maximum figure, if you go really efficient, can even be a little bit higher. Maybe we can score something less than 600 kilometers or something less than 350 miles. We have to see. And I think overall, if you compare the market competitors, that's already quite decent. And about the recharging, AC is 11 or optional 22 kilowatt. And DC charging here up to around 175 kilowatt. However, the charging time then at the fast charging station will also be quite similar, EQE and EQS. Here for the Mercedes EQE, you can also calculate with some 30 minutes from 10 to 80% state of charge then at the fast charger. This is the car key, looks quite fancy. And with the EQS or the S-Class, you sometimes have, for example, a high gloss white on the inside, but here with the plain black, maybe even more subtle, so why not? When you open the vehicle or when you approach it, then the door handles fall out. However, in the EQE, these are optional, gladly, because to me, they have been so annoying with the EQS. And it's of course cool, it's a fancy function. It looks better when they're closed and it's also a little bit better for wind efficiency, but not too much. I would go just for the standard door handles. Then you know what you get, you know what you have. So I think it's good that here with the EQE, they're just an option. You will also have the option of the fully automatic opening doors, by the way. That they automatically open when you approach the vehicle. We've shown it in the EQS review. Then you also have the soft close function right here. Magic. And once again, frameless doors. And you have this dual insulation right here. You see here, 2 glass layers right there. Very interesting to see always. And inside of the doors, animal-free materials. Also here the top part is kind of like a shiny effect with Artico. There's also another Neotex material available now, showing that soon. Then a lot of capacitive buttons all over the place. Like here, for example, for the seat heating or for the seat memory. This is just one button, and this one button strategy, I'm not sure if that is belonging to a premium car. Here also, formerly, these buttons here could be moved. Now they don't give you any feedback. It's cool that you know what you're doing when you have the seat layout, but they cannot be moved and then you're not exactly sure what you're doing at this moment. And here also capacitive buttons for the side mirrors. So am I too old already, or are capacitive buttons really not that good? Tell me in the comments. Then taking a look at the interior, that looks of course super fancy here with the air vents, for example, also illuminated. Look at that, nice detail work right here. Soon more about the screens. At the moment everything is turned off. And there you see it really has this one panel design in this optional hyper screen. Recently the EQS prices were revealed, saying that the hyper screen is at 8,500 euros or dollars extra. So I think it will be the same for the EQE right here. But soon more about the screens. First of all, seating here. There are two different seats available, comfort seat and a sport seat. This is here the comfort seat, so it's a little bit more open, so to speak. The sport seat would be better in the bolstering here and also in the shoulder support. Yeah, but which is more comfortable, we have to see about it at a later stage. Interesting is that for both seats you have different materials and also a lot of animal-free choices, more sustainable definitely and more animal-friendly. You have a full article that looks like this. You have also a so-called micro-cut. This is then a microfiber surface. Here the article seat, by the way, can also be cooled if you have the article choice. This is the optional animal skin pack. So cooled leatherette seats are also available. And the steering wheel can also be bought then with a full leatherette surface. So the standard EQE will be animal-free as for the interior materials. That's a great choice. This will be really crucial for the whole market. So yeah, Tesla did it so far with the Model 3, with the Model Y, and also with the Polestar 2. Standard now animal-free. This is then leading into the future. Let's see if the seat is all the way down. Now it's all the way down. So I'm 1m86, 6'1". Still some headroom left, although this is the one with the panoramic roof. It's also a nice option, and it goes really wide around the vehicle like this. Let's open it. Yeah, here we go. And I mean, sitting here in the front, it doesn't feel too much different, from the EQS. Yes, the seats are a little bit different in this EQS, a little bit different seat form. But when you look at the front, they of course share a lot of different parts like the screens and so on, and they also share the very same platform on the so-called skateboard, they say, where they can also then adapt the wheelbase. Very interesting as for the first impression, definitely. Let's take a closer look. The EQE is also about new materials, as I said. So here this is called Neotex, and it's something in between a leatherette and the microfiber, so it looks a little structured and doesn't feel entirely sleek, but it's mainly sleek, so to speak. A little bit like neoprene, something from the texture. Very interesting, looks really high class. And also here with the blue shade. We also have the same at the top of the inside of the doors. And this is again also all animal free, so really nice to see new premium materials. Screens, screens, screens. Welcome to this interior then, EQE. 12.3-inch digital instruments are always standard. And then on the middle part you would start, like in the S-Class or the C-Class, the new generation, with this vertical screen, either here in 11.9-inch, a little bit bigger one, in 12.8-inch. That is then exactly the same in the S-Class and also in the standard EQS. And then you have this optional hyper screen, 17.7-inch, and another passenger screen, also in 12.3-inch right there. Yeah, this is, once again, 8,500 euros extra, or almost also the same in dollars. It has this kind of curved function, but the functionality on the inside is kind of the same. So I would really stick with the base screen. It's a little bit smaller, it's more vertical. This is maybe even more distracting. You don't need the passenger screen on the right side. Yeah, and you can have another more deco element here on the right side, like here in the middle part. This is like a matte material, for example. However, if you want the fancy tech overkill, then this is the way to go. We soon show also details to the screens. This is, by the way, the Vision AVTR, the inspiration for the new electric models by Mercedes. Here in the middle console here, once again, you can slide this one here open. Then you have two USB-C connectors and an inductive charging pad, adaptive cup holders, and this then here to start up the vehicle and to pick the different driving modes, for example. And yeah, once again, this curse of having, this is one button. Why is this one button? For design purposes? I did ask them, and they say it's for design and functionality. And I ask myself, no, the functionality is worse. Is the design better with high gloss black? I think not. What do you think? my favorite interior Mercedes feature is always the split opening here for the, for the cubby hole, 2 USB-C connectors, and yeah, a lot of space then here on the inside. Steering wheel, either this one and different from the S-Class or the EQS, which have this, black panel slot design in the lower part. This is here more like a sportier slot design. However, the AMG line steering wheel will look different with 2 spokes. Here we have a rather closed area. And once again, one button fits it all. Phone, volume, slider, capacitive, left side for the cruise control. Yeah, I think I would just call it the capacitive curse. You can hashtag that also if you like in the comments. Hashtag capacitive curse, made by Thomas 2021, copyrighted. So there we are. I mean, it looks cool, definitely, but capacitive buttons make the user interface worse, period. The screen, however, that looks quite fancy. So, and now the central screen. Ta-da! I mean, the map looks really impressive for that. Whoa. Yeah, I mean, it also depends on how the connection is done, the web connection, for example. The main menu looked like this. And temperature always stays here. Yeah, menu climate units definitely missing. However, as it stays in the same area, somewhat quite okay as for that. Comfort settings are always very interesting. You have massage function, and Mercedes has the best seat massage, I know. Especially if you go like for wave massage functions. Deep wave also has this kind of vibrating in the seats. That's really cool. Of course, even more not sure if you can hear it on microphone, but you really have a small vibration in the seat. It's really cool. And yeah, my favorite ambient lighting. You also have this ambient lighting which adapts then to the driving, for example. It's really fancy. I love that. And we had nighttime driving episode, Malibu Sunset. Awesome, right? I love it. Some say it's too much. I think it's exactly right. Go for it. Why not? Let's bring back the joy in driving with that. To me, maybe on camera it looks even more, prominent. It's also, yeah, why not? So I like to drive with that thing. I just love it. What about you? Tell me in the comments. Then let's take another look here at the main menu. What else we can find? For example, here in the settings, assistance systems, packed all with this car. We have an active lane changing assist. So level 2 is actually everything ready for that. We've already shown the level 3 possible in the EQS. So this will also then come for the EQE at some point. And on special request, we have Android Auto integration for you here today. That's how it looks like from Jonas' smartphone. I'm always using the Apple CarPlay, but here, here we go. So there it is. That would be then the integration of that. It's really interesting, and by the way, here you really can feel the curved surface right there. When someone took a seat on the passenger seat, thank you, Jonas, then you can also control this screen here on the passenger side, and you can do the same things actually you can do in the central screen. For example, here also sound settings for the Burmester sound system, 3D surround sound, very nice tone definitely. Just that everything is here a little bit smaller, and if you turn over here, you have everything then bigger again, and you can maybe do some screen fights, controlling something from there, controlling something from here again. Enjoy. Usually digital instruments stand like this, more upright. Here they are land like this and stand more towards the sun, so that can catch some glare in bright sunlight. We experienced that with the EQS. Cool here the integration of the map, for example, on the inside. And you can have different views. You can also have the map all over the place like this. This is really helpful, definitely. But also completely other stylings. For example, there's also the sport styling right there. Interesting graphic. And you can also have a similar view for the head-up display, for example. Yeah, let's see about the consumption at a later stage when we can drive the vehicle. But they're really clear to read, so quite impressive digital instruments. Hey, cool view that you can see the secondary car here with the head-up display. You can have different stylings for the head-up display actually. This is standard styling. There's also a sport styling available, or just a minimalistic one. But the most important feature will be that you can have augmented reality arrows right there. About these door handles, I wanted to open the rear door. I was waiting for Jonas to put it on the camera, but yeah, then it closed and now I'm stuck. Yeah, so that's again why my advice is stick with the standard door handles. Let's now take a look at the rear. Here we go. This will be a difference then to the EQS in the length, but using this electric platform, you can see it has a flat bottom in the middle part, more or less flat. But definitely you can see you have a lot of space right there, and also the nice frameless doors once again in the rear. You have this step then here, strangely. Cool materials at the inside of the doors. Once again, this looks really, really premium. And the seating position here, you have a lot of legroom. This is the seat that I would be driving with 186 or 6'1". So a lot of legroom, definitely more than you would have in an E-Class or in a CLS. Headroom, that's a thing now. You also have this glass roof then here in this option. To the side, it's really close. You see, this doesn't really fit. So I don't fit in here as a tall person. When I put my head to the side, but when I'm sitting like this, yeah, I mean, that's okay. It's because I'm in the space in here of the panoramic roof, but that's really close. And they actually told me they went for the fixed trunk to give more headroom in the rear. So I asked myself if they would have gone for the fastback trunk there. Yeah, maybe that wouldn't have worked at all. This is the cost of this one bow design here, actually. And you see it also here, how my knees are bent. I sit relatively low here, so do you see it on camera? I feel kind of a little bit lost, in a way, from the seating position. It's not uncomfortable, but somehow strange. You know what I mean? In the middle part, that's also really well possible. Also quite soft from the seating area. The back part is a little bit stiffer than here in the middle part, but I mean, you can still use it with 5 tall adults. So it doesn't have this chauffeur kind of thing like the EQS or the S-Class, of course. But also the EQS wasn't that much chauffeur-alike, more again driving yourself. In the middle part, you can put that down and have either this kind of smartphone holder or then here the cup holders, like this. Isofix at the outsides each. And you also have this control unit here. Once again, one button fits it all, capacitive curse, but you have some kind of a haptic feedback here. So this rear unit then I think is actually quite well to control. The cool thing about the rear interior, definitely more this glass atmosphere, looking, when you look from down to the top, you have the glass right here and also look to the front, and then together with the ambient lighting, even here the ambient lighting mirroring in the top glass here, this is actually the fanciest thing here. So yeah, this vehicle is clearly design focused. No car is safe from the dual centimeters inch measuring stick by Autogefuel. Let's fight. So opening here the trunk like this. Again, no fastback opening. And the length here is a meter or 40 inches. And the width is actually less than a meter or 40 inches. Even a little bit narrower right here. So this rather goes like 33, 34 inches. And yeah, something a little bit more than 80 centimeters. Not too spacious. Actually, the height is actually quite okay. That's okay here with 21 inches. Well, it's like 53 centimeters. If I put a backpack in here, you see, that's actually no problem. So that's actually quite cool. Let's see what do we have underneath. Here we go. Some more space. This could, for example, fit a charging cable, since we do not have any trunk. And we can also fold the seats, but there's no mechanism from here whatsoever. So we can have a 2/3, 1/3 split, or also just a ski hatch thing in the middle, and then loading all the things through to my front seat, we land up with 74 inches or 188 centimeters. Mercedes EQE and EQS share the platform and also the technology. So now tune into our driving review of the EQS. That will also tell a lot about what to expect with this one. And see you at our driving part with this new EQE.